Just making a little bit of a recovery. That's good. It's 4 o'clock Tuesday. Okay, great. All right, man. So we are live on 6, 11, 12. 12 channels. That's not good. What the fuck is going on? 12 channels. Hey, Debbie. Wow, let me see what's going on here. 12 channels. Huh. 2 channels are not showing. What's going on? One of the Facebooks. Up another one of my Facebooks. 2 or 3 of my Facebooks. Huh. What the fuck, dude? Whoa. It's acting weird, dude. Let's see if that fixes it. Megsy, Lisa, Debbie, which one of my Facebooks are you guys on? You know, without telling me my real name, because all 6 of them are my real name. What's the photograph in my Facebook? Yeah, I've never heard of that place, Fab. Fuck your flag. Nobody likes fucking flags around here. Can you tell me which Facebook you're on? You're here with your beautiful wife. Right on, Doc. Megsy, Lisa, Debbie, can any of you tell me which Facebook channel of mine you're on? Which picture is in the avatar? From the doctor's appointment, going to continue 60 minutes. Mental health hangups. Right on, Merck. Hey, Cal. You just call me Nay, bro. The one with your hat on. Oh, so it's working. Okay. The one with my hat on. Okay. Thank you, Megsy. It only took you guys forever to answer me, but thank you. You just saved me a lot of trouble. Thank you. Great. Okay. Hey, Manueli85, what's up? Explosive disorder? Is that like rage, bro, Merc? You get like mad and shit and blow up on people? I've never heard of IED before. I mean, I've heard of an IED. You're like an IED, bro. You're like an IED, but you're intermittent. That's a condition, huh? Good. Thank you. Too bad Debbie couldn't say anything. And who else couldn't answer me back? Lisa and Debbie. Nothing from Lisa or Debbie. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Debbie. Are you there? Hello. Which Facebook channels are you guys on? Thanks for the help. Cannabis helps tremendously. I can smoke all day and still function. Is it rage, bro? You rageaholic, bro? You rageaholic, bro? Enoch, what's up? Let's partake. Yeah, I got your box done. It's going out at some point, hopefully this week. But the box is ready to go. I just got to get out in the snow. It's freaking snowing outside, homie. Look at this. Full on snow. It's like a snow globe up in this bitch right now. So let's smoke, man. Let's do it. I'm on the Julian Assange. Oh, that's cool, man. No, I just wanted to know if it was the Bong Rip channel. Oh, I think Julian Assange is the Bong Rip channel. Good, bro. Good. Those are the two channels that are reading down. So good. I'm glad they're up. Those are my two most important channels, man. They're both reading down right now. As long as you guys are there, let's smoke to that. Let's smoke to all channels being up except for the Matt G channel. No law regarding 15 out of 16 channels or 14 out of 15 channels, even though it says 12 out of 15. Cheers. Prozac's supposed to help you with it. To be honest, I don't feel. Hey, Oracle. What's up, buddy? Well, recognizing your triggers before you blow up, bro, that's progress, man. Use that. Be very aware of that. My arms start shaking before I go into a rage. Dude, if my arms are shaking, I know I am being exposed to something that I probably need to back away from. But that's my sign. It feels like rage when my arms start shaking. It literally feels like the Incredible Hulk. It's crazy. It feels like electricity going through my arms. And I know, I'm like, if I feel that, I'm like, just whatever I'm reading or whatever I'm exposed to that's getting me upset or whatever, just, stop, walk away, move on to something else. It's happened to me a few times on the show. Literally, I will get so mad that my arms will start shaking and I'll just be like, whoa, that's fucking rage, bro. That is a unconscious, it is just reflex. I've got no control over that. It's just a sign. That is what happens now. Bro, I can feel my blood boil sometimes when I have a rage episode. I get all trembly. So the best thing you can do is what Big Merc said, guys, is identify what's causing it. It's the best. So you find out what's causing it and you squelch it. Whatever it is. I've been exposing myself to the craziest shit, man. I'm watching the Central Park 5 confessions, man. It's crazy. You guys can't imagine. I can't imagine what it's like to be a 14-year-old kid to get in a gang of 30 other kids and just go beat the hell out of people. I can't imagine what that's like to be 14 years old and want to do that. You should watch their confessions, man. It's fucking crazy. Real life shit, man. And the expression on these kids' faces, man, and to hear them with their parents sitting right there next to them while they just nonchalantly explain how they, brutalize innocent people, homeless people, joggers, whoever gets in their way. And there's no mercy, man. And bro, that's not rage. That's just boredom, man. And they're just taught wrong. They're taught by their friends. This is how we go out and have fun. Maybe you vandalize. That's what me and my friends did. We would vandalize an inanimate object. That's how we would take out our teenage angst. But man, these kids were teenagers right after I was. And to see that younger generation coming up like that right after me, I was like, whoa. But I grew up in a nice area. They grew up in the hood, bro. And for them, a Saturday night is going beating people down. And that's fun for them. And they go home and they sleep good at night. That's the kind of shit you should expose yourself to, man. So you can better understand your own rage. And maybe you might find out that your rage is coming from the wrong place. Like those kids, they thought they were mad or angry. They weren't mad. They were in a group of people that made very poor decisions. And that's what happens when you get into a group. The very worst things happen. It gets out of hand. It's called, what do they call that? I forgot what they call that. It's something to do with riot brain or something. I don't know. There's a name for that. I heard your alerts going off. Oh, you start watching that shit? Bro, you guys, you want to be shocked? Beyond shocking, bro. Their stories and they're all just about the same story, man. Every single one of them tells almost the exact same story. From different angles, too. It's crazy. There were two groups of kids, and you'll hear from the one group of kids saying, yeah, we came up here, and then we saw this, and then the 10 of us went over here. And then there's like 20 guys, and they were over here, and that was totally different. And it was, and you hear it from different perspectives, and you get the idea that they were out there to really hurt some people. They did. They hurt a lot of people that night, bro. Those guys that went to jail for that shit, they fucking deserved it, man. They deserved to go to jail. They did. There was a lot of involvement. There was a lot of complacency, complicitness, standing by and letting other people and doing nothing and just standing there and letting people go crazy and having absolutely no concept of empathy that it might happen to them one day. And those kids, they found out, they went to fucking prison, and one of them went to prison for like 16 years, and he got out and he was messed up. He can't even form a sentence now, that guy. Somebody beat the shit out of him in prison, I bet. Other guy got shot in the throat, killed him right after it happened. Because he was talking. He shot him in the throat. I bought crypto. Good choice, Renzo Bathico. Yeah, bro. If you'd done it yesterday, it would have been a better choice. But yeah, you're still down. The market just exploded. So I would have done it yesterday. Well, wait, you said I just bought crypto. Did you do it this hour, or did you do it like 15 hours ago? 15 hours ago, 20 hours ago, man, that was the fucking sweet spot. Cardano was down to fucking 81 cents. Sandbox was 282. Ethereum was $2,500. So when did you, it all depends on when you bought it, Renzo. Did you get it cheap? And what did you buy? How much did you spend? Lay it out on the line. Lay it on the line. I must have been singing today, huh? Whatever happened to the guy who paid 10,000 Bitcoins for a pizza? Well, he had a damn tasty pizza that night that he will never forget. I guarantee it. He'll never forget the way that pizza tasted. That was the best time, but you never know at the time. I thought it was going to keep going down. Right. No, you never know. Renzo, you never know. You never know. You did good. You bought under me, bro. So if you're still buying, you're buying under me probably. It's at 38.2. I can't remember where I was buying Bitcoin at. Probably 38.9 or something, I don't know. I could tell you where I bought Cardano at. I got Cardano at 94 cents, I believe. And it's at 89 cents, still under where I bought it. But I shredded fucking Merit Circle. Do you realize as soon as I start talking about crypto, we just lost 5 people? Did 5 of you really leave just because somebody asked me a question about crypto? Wow, man. Oh, and then the 5 people are back. The 5 people left. The 5 people are back. The 5 people left. The 5 people are back. 1317, 1317. I don't know what's going on. You guys got erased for a second, but now you're back. 5 of you. Hey, is there a channel with 5 people on it? How's the connection, guys? How's the connection today? Is it good? You got a good connection? Good, clean? Has it dropped at all? Has it gone black screen at all? Got that antenna so up high in the air, bro. I did good with that. I did really good. He's making me leave my other shows. Really, Merc? Tell people about me, bro. Word of mouth, man. It's the best way to go. Just tell all your friends about the show. Not the racist ones, but the non-racist ones, or the ones that are on the fence that you think I could win them over with a little common sense. I'll take them. I was there before, so I can bring people over. But you can't be a full-on nincompoop. You got to have a little bit of common sense. And then I can get you. It's not that far. It's not that far of a walk. Once I start watching, man, I'm going to get them. You guys would love what I did today. So I was in the back, and I was back there for a few hours. I came out here in the kitchen, and boom, fucking sugar ant attack in the kitchen out of the blue. I mean, I was just in there hours before doing a show, right? I had coffee, did the show this morning. Everything was fine in there. It's clean. The whole kitchen was all wiped out and clean. Everything was clean. I walk in, fucking like 50, 60 fucking black ants all over the countertop, my kitchen, fucking everywhere, because it's cold. It's freezing cold outside. So they try to find warmth, if it's snowing out, they fucking run. So they somehow got in my fucking kitchen. And first thing I did, peppermint spray. I peppermint sprayed all of them. Boom, they're all dead. So then I just wiped them up with a paper towel. And then I went through everywhere and found the little stragglers that were all crawling around, a little up in the soap and over here by the toaster and blah, blah, blah. Cleaned all them too, right? I got almost every single one of them fuckers. All in all, it's probably about 70 ants. And then I start looking around to try to figure out how they're getting in. And I noticed this cracking along the seam where there's caulking. Paint reaches the border of my windowsill over the sink. And there's that border goes, to a backsplash. And then the backsplash runs along the wall, right? It's just cheap Formica. But there's all cracked. Tim. So good to see you. So I have a bucket of drywall paste. It's great. It's this wet. It's just like clay. It's kind of like drywall putty, I got this 5-gallon bucket of it. And I brought the bucket in, and I just grabbed it in my hand, and I just smeared it over that crack. It was so satisfying. Taking chunks of it and just smearing it over, and then letting it dry a little and taking a damp sponge and clearing it all away and made it all nice and clean, and looked at it. And I was like, damn, that shit looks nice. Let me take a picture of it so you can see how it looks. Oh, let's do the flash. Let's do it with the flash. Hey, man, I said flash, baby. All right. So I still got to clean up. I was waiting for it to dry completely before I finish it up with a nice wet paper towel, and I'll finish it. But look at that. That was a big cracked seam. You can see where it's filled in those cracks. Isn't that awesome? Oh, dude. I'm telling you, it just felt like I was doing home maintenance. I was doing something like, I was doing something the house needed. I was doing a little upgrade. It's just nice. Oracle, Danter, Oracle. I got drywall shit all over my phone now. Here, I got some spray. I got water spray right here. See this? A little bit of water on the phone. Little towel right here. Boom, boom, bow. Nice and clean. Look at that. Nice and clean. All right, we'll just put that right there. Okay, we got our bong rip. Okay, now I've got this really nice concentrate here too, guys. I'm really excited about that. Manual, is that nice? I mean, it's just, you smear it in there and it fills the cracks. I don't know, man. It just has a very satisfying feel. It felt very satisfying just to keep those fucking ants out. I have a feeling that I might not ever get another ant infestation. I probably sealed so many cracks when I did that. I might not ever see ants. And I haven't had ants come in. Geez, I don't remember the last time, man. It's been 5 months, something like that, probably. It's so long, I can barely remember the last time it happened. I hate those fuckers. I fucking hate them. The lizards don't even fucking eat them. Actually, they do. I've seen the lizards eat them, but I've seen them just ignore them too. Like, fuck those fucking nasty things. You need Flex Seal. I need Flex Seal and the entire Flex Seal family of products. Hi, everybody. Phil Swift here with Flex Seal. Let me tell you, sometimes you might have some cracks in your ceiling, and you might want to take some sealant and put it on your ceiling to seal up those sealant cracks with some good sealant. I think all of you should listen to the accounts that these kids give, right? When they're 14 to 17 years old, right? And go listen to it's hard to hear on at least a big home stereo system. It's got a lot of bass. I had to turn my bass all the way off. You'll probably hear it a lot better on a cell phone or with earbuds, right? You'll probably be hearing a lot better. But I did it while I was cleaning my kitchen, working in the house and doing stuff. I've been listening to these. And then go listen to their accounts. Now, when they podcast, they were paid millions of dollars, guys. And these kids were straight fucking gangster thugs. I mean, I'm telling you, the dirtiest fighting, the 30 people ganging up on one person. You can't even imagine how bad these kids were. And they got paid millions of dollars for a rape that they very well may have committed. Do I have your attention yet? I'm talking about the Central Park Five. What I'm saying is, when you check these guys out on the podcast, because they're out now and they're doing podcasts, they got millions of dollars, nice clothes, they've started their own businesses, they're putting their name on those businesses. I just want to say this. They're bad kids, okay? They're bad people. They did really horrible things. And if I did those kinds of things when I was a kid, I don't know if I'd be able to face people, random people, because that's literally what they did. They just went after random people and brutalized them. Put them in the hospital, murdered them probably. Yeah, I got Merck's attention. So understand, when you go and you watch one of these guys podcasting today and you listen to them tell their side of the story, it might not ring true for you, because it doesn't fucking ring true to me. These guys knew fucking details. This was not a story that a police officer fed to all of them. It's different people, different perspectives, same fucking crimes, same fucking victims, same scenarios, exact same places, same names being named by all the same kids, and the same things being done. The only difference in each story is, in every story that these kids tell, they subtract themselves from the story. But all the other guys put each other guy in the place where they were. You could write it down, man. You could make a diagram and you could put them all where they were. And just by multiple source backup, you'll have a complete picture of what happened that night. How can they monetize? Well, I'm going to tell you how they monetize. There's a group, very famous. They're called Project. I can't remember. It's like Project Freedom or something like that. And they go around and they try to get people that are on death row that are, improperly convicted of a crime off death row. They try to save their lives. People who have been improperly prisoned for years, they help them with a lawsuit and get money, so they can compensate them for what society has done to them, wrong them, right? I believe now, I'm not sure because I haven't watched the documentary, and I want to now. I watched the bro, there's a couple of times. There's one time where one kid says, he's like, well, the police officer told me, and you know what the district attorney said to him? She said, wait, so I don't want to hear what the police officer told you. I want to hear what you saw. She's good. That fucking DA was good. Dude, there was all this noise in the police station, and she said, hold on a second. She's like, let me try to get them to quiet down. She goes out in the police station. She gets everybody to quiet down. It's like, that was a little unprofessional. One thing you find out in New York, the police stations are shit. My goodness, they don't even have privacy to conduct a fucking interview. Not on TV. Not like on TV on Law and Order, where they've got this nice private room. They bring this guy into a private room. It's all quiet, and there's a mirror. Oh, they didn't have that shit. No. It's like a fucking back goddamn storage room, dude. It's crazy where they interviewed these kids. You guys want to see some of it? Look, what I'm going to tell you is this. These guys are out there with their millions of dollars that they made off of this, right? This crime that they fucking did. And they did a lot of crime, these guys. And they're acting like they were completely innocent. But their own words might convict them for you. For me, it's when I look at it, I go, I think some of these guys got what they deserved. I think some of them got off easy. I think you can't get in a group of 30 people, and be a part of that group. And I don't care what the fuck transpires. You're responsible. You decided to go along for the ride. Hey, what is it? Buy the ticket, take the ride. And they all bought the ticket that night. This was something that they were doing, and there's no telling what they got away with before they finally got caught on that night. One thing they never asked them in any of these interviews, is this something that you guys did on the regular? Is this something you've done in the past? They never asked that question. How many times has this happened? They all were very familiar with the park. Anyway, when you see these guys today, and you hear them talking about how, the system, they were gamed by the system. They had to go to prison. It was terrible what happened to them, blah, 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 blah. Man, it's really hard to feel any sympathy for any of them if you go and you listen to their confessions. And they're long, half-hour, sometimes hour-and-a-half confessions. And you can hear the whole thing, and you can see the child sitting there under no duress whatsoever with his parents sitting next to him. And they say, well, you see the hour and a half long, these guys say today, you see the hour and a half long interview, but you don't see those police playing good cop, bad cop with us for the 24 hours prior to us having to go on tape. No, you're right. We didn't see that, but it doesn't matter. After you listen to all these kids say what they did, they identify each other. They talk about specific weapons. They talk about, different maneuvers to knock people out. Oh, well, this guy clotheslined this guy hit this guy with a lead pipe in the back of the head. Yeah. 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, guys. That's what these children were doing. And the thing that drives me crazy the most is during these interviews, the parents just sitting there silent. Because if I did that sort of thing and I was in the police station and I was having to tell a police officer or the district attorney in front of my parents that I had gone in with a group of 30 people and we beat the hell out of people, we left them for dead, literally on the side of the road, my father would stand up and beat me dead in front of those cops. Because that's the kind of person my father was. Why I ever did that kind of shit. For me, it's fucking shocking to see the parents sit there silent, like, oh yeah, this is what our child does. It goes out and brutalizes people on the fucking with his friends. Goes down Central Park. I mean, yeah, I know you don't want your child to go to prison. And I know that must have been very hard for you to sit there and listen to that story. But God, does that just grind my fucking gears, man. What do you guys think in the chat? You guys in shock right now? You guys waiting for me to play a video? I think I shocked you, huh? I don't mean to. I've been watching this for the last 48 hours, man. I know exactly what happened that night from start to finish. I know all the fucking players. I know exactly how they got caught. I know how it all went down. I know what happened to them after. I fucking studied this shit. You guys got nothing to say. You guys are shocked, huh? Nothing in the chat. Look at y'all. All right, I'll bring up a video. You can see what I've been watching, okay? Yeah, I think first, you should probably see the podcast of them now with their fancy clothes. Now, remember, this one guy, I'm positive this kid got brain damaged in prison because his name's Corey. When he was testifying, look, he's throwing everybody else under the bus that he had nothing to do with it. Everybody said that he was the rapist. They said he was right there raping that woman, right? Well, this guy came out of prison 16 years later, whatever, brain damaged. Obviously, he can't even talk. He could talk when he was turning all his friends in when he was a little kid. He can't talk anymore. You can barely understand him. You smoking Gorilla Glue? I could use some of that daily. I could use some Gorilla Glue. Shit, I get mad when my kid jokes about bank robbing. I laugh and praise their joke, but then condemn the idea itself, just feeling their morals out. Billy, you're a good parent. I mean, what these children were doing when they were children, when they should have been, going to the movies, trying to date girls, which is what I was doing when I was 14 years old, 15 years old. Skateboarding with your friends. This is kind of hard for me to watch, guys. My arms might start shaking a little bit. I'll tell you if they do. Okay, this is monitor.
Like, 4. I look at it from a more spiritual perspective that everybody that was supposed to be players in this was in the right position.
When you bumped into that dude, what was your mentality then? Because it had to be, I'm going to kill this nigga.
If you kill him, you won't be able to confess.
But that got to be the first thing that's on your mind. Like, you got me here.
That's Corey.
That's
the guy who can't talk
it's
anymore.
2 times that he ran into him though, so that's the thing. Like first time
when I came across Reyes.
What?
I came across Reyes.
It's hard to watch him, right? Listen, this guy right here. He's he had 2 confrontations with the man whose DNA was found on the raped woman. Now, the story was a bunch of these guys had sex with her and supposedly ejaculated on her and all this shit. And none of their DNA matched what was on her body. The only one person whose DNA matched the woman was a fucking accused rapist from the park, the East Side rapist. I think that's what his name. None of these guys had DNA on that woman. Right? So there's that. You know, there is that. And I will give them that little shred of evidence because they say in their story that they were doing that. And then you're like, well, then why is it their DNA wasn't their DNA on the woman? You know? Now, let's go back to the beginning here. And I want you to hear this guy talk about Donald Trump.
This man took out $85,000 of his own money to pay for these ads to run in New York City's newspapers. That's a lot. That was a lot of money then. That's a lot of money now. A lot of folks don't have $85,000 sitting in the bank.
And let me tell you something. That's a fucking monster that did that shit. That was Donald Trump. He tried to pay $85,000 to promote putting these guys to death. 15, 16, and 17 years old, man. And, you know, they're in a different area, a different upbringing than me. I have a hard time understanding it. I have a hard time understanding the parenting, whatever. They don't deserve the death penalty. None of them deserve the death penalty. Okay? But they've got a platform now, and he's using it. And, you know, I support him in his platform right now.
You know, and so for him to do that, it gave a nod to every piece of society to then think about what can we do to these guys. Pat Buchanan started writing about Corey in the papers. He said, let's take the eldest one and hang him from a tree in Central Park.
See that?
Now you look at the series and you realize Corey wasn't even, one, he wasn't even a suspect.
Right.
And two, he became the magic that freed us.
He went.
Okay. Corey is named by many of them in their confessions. So it's you have to listen to the confessions and decide for yourselves if you think these guys are guilty or innocent. But there's more podcasting from these guys, and there's more information out there. The only reason I'm interested in this is for my own personal education on how it went down, because we were spun a story by the news that didn't match this at all. And, you know, getting the whole story, I realize I'm in the exact same position. Donald Trump's a piece of shit. Still, he's a human piece of garbage. And these guys now, even though I felt as if they may have been completely innocent, now I know they are not completely innocent in any of this. None of them were completely innocent. And you know, in my mind, do you know the way I painted the picture? Is that there were just 5 guys hanging out in the park. Somewhere else in the park, a rapist raped a woman, and they somehow got accused of it because they were there that night, and that they were wrongly. That is not the story, guys. That's the story I had in my brain. And I may have made that up. I may have made that up in my head, but that is not what happened. You guys, look. I'll bring up some of the confession video, okay? In fact, I'm thinking Corey, because you can see Corey has got brain damage now, right? Obviously, he can't talk. But he was singing like a bird when he was a kid.
So he moved up.
And you continued going toward the baseball fields?
And you see the other guy, he was no more, was a fresh cut. Fresh.
What does that mean when you say?
Like,
did you say a fresh cut?
Yeah, like, so he was no wrong. He was nice.
Nice dressed?
Yeah.
Did he look like he was old or young?
Yeah. He looked like he had been 18, so 18.
I just want to say I'm sorry. One of the police officers came in and removed a podium. I'm sorry, I made some interruption. I'm sure you have seen the video camera. We're taping the statement and we're recording it on a.
One of us is like clean. He's clean.
He was clean.
Yeah.
What did he look like? Was he black or Spanish or white? Or?
He's black. Right.
Was he by himself?
Yeah.
And was he walking toward you or?
He walking towards the inside the hall.
What happened when he walked toward you?
Kids do it every day.
Steven said, yo, you got your money on you. Yes. Everybody said it too.
Nay, kids are on website. Dominic, I don't understand what you mean by that. I believe it's a result of how they were brought up, bad parenting or lack of. Brian Retkowski. Thanks, Brian. You sound like they're fucking racist piece of shit. Thanks, Brian. That's right-wing narrative bullshit. You sound like fucking Ben Shapiro or fucking Candace Owens or fucking Charlie Kirk. Bad parenting. It's bad parenting. It's the parents' fault.
He said no.
They just don't have the standards. They don't have the morals, the values that we have.
He ran fast. He got away. And ran while chasing him no more.
Was there someone there that night that you saw a black male who had 2 gold front teeth? Remember seeing somebody who had 2 gold teeth in the front?
That's bullshit, because that's the guy who was doing everything. The guy with the 2 gold front teeth, that's the guy who started all the attacks on all of the people. Do you know how many people were attacked that night? First homeless guy they found, they knocked him out. He stole his shit. They surrounded him. They were about to beat him up. The kids in the group says, I know that guy. Let him go. And they let him go. Third homeless guy they found, they fucking beat him to shit. And they almost killed him. Right? Stole his food, stole his groceries. Right? Then a couple came by on bicycles. Or no, walking. And they let them walk. They didn't attack them. Then another guy came by, a jogger. And they chased him. They fucking beat him down. That guy got away. Then another jogger comes by. Are you guys keeping count of this? Then another jogger comes by. They fucking chase after him, but he's too fast and they couldn't catch him. Right? Then another jogger comes by. They catch this guy and they beat the shit out of this guy. Then they find a woman and they, beat the shit out of her. And some people raped her. Now, according to the guys, it sounded like 4 guys that were involved in the rape. And it was these guys. They all name each other and they say what each one did. And while they're all doing it, like I said, they all exclude themselves from the scenario. So do you know what the DA says to each one of them? This is I got to tell you, the DA is amazing. She does the exact same interview to all of them. She says the exact same things at the exact same time. And it's like a really good professional interview. It was just conducted in a shit fucking back storehouse or something. I don't know where the fuck they did this. It's so stupid. But she basically paints the picture for each one of them that all the other ones have said exactly what you were doing, where you were, and what you did. This is your last chance to tell us. And motherfucker, if almost every single one of them at the end, not this one guy, but the one guy that was doing the worst shit, they said he was the worst one. He says he don't get anywhere near it. They all come back and admit that they were involved some way or another. They fucking slip up. And if you listen, you'll fucking hear it, man. You will fucking hear them all give their part. Once she gets them to that far, they all said that you were blah, 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 blah. And it's funny is you're the only one that's not saying, these interviews are insane, man. It's way better than Law and Order bullshit. This was the real deal.
And did you see?
People's lives were on the line for this. People. This was this was the Reagan era. Was this 1989? What year did Reagan come into office? Man, every single interview. Did you smoke crack cocaine? Did you snort cocaine? Did you smoke pot before? And she asked exactly the same questions. It was all written down. So funny. And none of them used drugs that night. And it's just so funny how focused on the drugs they were. That's some Nancy Reagan bullshit. Just say no bullshit. Oh, and by the way, this confession and interview is brought to you by Pepsi. That's right, Pepsi. America drinks Pepsi.
Well, I'll ask you that later. They asked for money from this guy and he ran. You said that this fresh cut,
Yeah.
he was asked for money and did he give anybody money?
No,
He just ran.
yeah.
Did he run back the way he had come or did he run?
He ran into the park, to the field.
He ran into the park.
Yeah.
And did anybody chase him?
It was chased after for about a few. They stopped. Everybody chasing him. Everybody chasing him.
Did you chase after him?
No.
Did you see
No.
who did chase
That's
after
not
him?
needed.
See, I did see who chased after him, but I don't know the people. I don't know the people.
You don't know their names.
No.
After they chased after him and didn't catch him, did they come back to where the rest of the group
It's
was?
snowing outside. It's
We
beautiful.
moved up towards the field,
What happened then?
and we see the biker, two bikers put together with two people, with a female, a male and a female. The male was in the front, the female was in the back.
Were
Okay.
they coming towards you?
So it was a bicycle built for two. My bad. They let them go.
Yeah. Everybody said, "Yo, attack them."
Who said that?
Huh?
Do you remember who said it?
Steve
Steven said
said that, yeah. So, the biker here kind of slowed it down between. Everybody told him, we want to go. Hurry up and ride fast. And everybody was hit. Hit him and the female. But he still had his balance. He was still riding.
Oh, they hit
So
him.
he got away.
They
He
hit him.
was able to ride through
Yeah.
and pass the group? Let me go back for a minute. Before you went into the park that night,
Understand.
did you do any drugs?
Understand. She's about to ask. Understand. These kids were just there 2 days before. So when you're hearing these interviews, this is just 2 days after, man. I believe this was conducted. The crime happened on the 19th. I think this is the 21st.
No.
Did you smoke any crack?
Uh-uh.
Any pot?
No.
Did you do any cocaine? Did you have any kind of alcohol?
No.
Were you straight when you went in?
Yeah.
After those people on the bicycle
That's when she
got
starts
away,
asking them all, "Are you as
did
straight as you are right
anyone
now?"
chase after them?
No.
What happened next?
So we walked further up, and there was a runner coming. Everybody running towards his way. He was coming towards our way. And he seen all of us. He turned back around. And there's another biker coming, and he wanted a biker to come towards our way. So the biker and him went, they both the same way.
Did you guys chase after
No.
the jogger?
So,
Were you able to see what that jogger looked like? Was that jogger running on a paved road, or was he running on a dirt path?
he was on the ground.
He was on a, not dirt. Okay. What happened next?
So there was a car coming. And Alfred, he said, "Don't throw a rock at the car.
He said,
Don't throw a rock at the car."
"Don't throw a rock."
Yeah, there was a car coming. And somebody wanted to throw a rock at the car. Boom.
What kind of a car was
This
it?
is a cab. I
Yeah.
think it was a cab. He stopped at the light, green light. He came out. And everybody took around, so he coming out.
It's a
And
cab.
somebody yelled out, "Go back in the car for the rescue." He didn't get back. So he went in, instead of closing the door, he pulled out a CB. He started talking. So everybody said, "He calling the cops." So said, "Yeah." So we looked down towards the exit of 104th Street. And when I looked down, I see the police car coming around with the big spotlight hitting everybody. So I read that. Everybody ran towards, I forgot the name of the lane.
Is that the one that has a fence around it? Is that the reservoir?
Yeah, reservoir.
Everybody ran.
After everybody ran to the reservoir.
Did some people run a different way?
Yeah.
Okay. Where did you run?
Cheers,
I
guys.
ran towards, going to the west side.
Did you run toward the reservoir?
No.
How many people ran with you?
So far, we've seen one. That was Al.
Al ran
Yeah,
with you.
Yeah.
Were you together, or did he just run in the same
And
direction?
he was going to say no less.
Was he close to you when you were running?
Yeah.
How close was he?
He was like, he was close.
Right beside you.
Yeah, he was close.
Who else besides Al was running with you?
I don't know. I ain't looked back. I don't knew who was. I don't knew who was in the back door. I ain't looked back. I kept on going.
The two of you were in the front,
Yeah.
and there were other people behind you.
Yeah.
Do you know who was in the other group that ran a different way?
So far as I know, was Yusuf ran toward the reservoir, and a couple of new guys. Because Yusuf had my bar with black tape on around it.
A bar.
What did you say?
My bar. They took out my
A bar.
house. They take out my house.
Right.
Okay. When was Yusuf in your house?
So they had a piece of rebar with tape. It was like this long. And they were hitting people with it that night. And they were one guy would have it, and then they would switch it off, and another guy would have it. And they hit a bunch of people with that bar, and everybody talks about the bar.
This is my house.
But when you hear them talking today in the podcast and say this was all coerced, say, so what about that? Ask us, so what about that steel bar thing with the black tape around it that came out of your house that you were hitting everybody with? Was that coerced too? You know?
The day that accident happened.
He was there earlier.
He said accident.
That same day.
Look, she's so straight. She's poker faced the whole time. And he keeps calling that crime an accident. And she finally just gets fed up with him. And she goes, you know, you keep referring to this as an accident. And I just, you know, she points it out to him.
So when we was running, we got down to the towards the horses track,
Mhm.
and we got on the floor.
You lay down?
No,
When you say you got on the floor,
we just like the ground started running still.
And you guys are hearing this over their old VHS system, through my home stereo system, through microphones, through my system over the internet to y'all's, whatever systems you guys. And I'm just kind of curious. Give me a 1 in the chat if you can understand what he's saying. If you can understand almost every single word he's saying, and contrast that to how he now speaks on a podcast today, and you understand that he's got brain damage. Now, he did not have brain damage back then. You can understand every word he's saying. He's making perfect sense. He's telling the story like it's living through his eyes as he's saying it, you know? He's totally just reciting what he saw.
okay, were you running on a place where the horses
You know, and then he's just deleting himself from the story.
ride
Yeah,
and that was cleared of trees?
yeah,
Okay. Let me go back for a second. You said Yusuf was running in a different direction?
yeah. Towards all the new guys ran towards Yusuf direction. That's going toward the reservoir.
And Yusuf had
My bar.
your bar.
And
How
we
long
got
is the
right.
bar?
Huh?
How long is the bar about? Okay. And what is it?
Wow, Meg, see, that's
What's it made
horrible. I'm sorry.
Iron, it's pure iron.
of? Is it solid?
Yes.
Does it have anything on it?
Tape.
Where is the black tape on it?
VHS
It's one.
Was it on
distortion.
the whole thing or just a part of it?
Could even be
Where
Betamax.
did you get this?
80s.
What kind of bar is it? What do you use it for?
Huh? Sometimes we put it on the door because half my brother not supposed to come in, and they get kids out. They get kids from from other families.
I wonder what kind of a room that
They
is.
try to come and do our line. So you should put the ball.
That the briefing room?
Okay, and
All right, let's all keep it safe
that
out
means
there
if you
today,
don't
y'all.
open the door, you just can't get. to
Let's
the
not
door.
get killed.
It's like a slam lock. The slam lock don't work no more. So we had a lot of robberies in the building. Everybody was kicking the doors open.
Did you know that Yusuf had your bar when he went into the park?
He's got that
How
fucking
many
bar.
people ran with Yusuf?
I don't know, a couple of new guys.
These people, someone like Kevin Richardson.
Mhm.
Where did he run? With you or with Yusuf?
This was Kevin and Stephen.
Who was with Kevin and Stephen?
Huh?
Who was with?
Brandon.
Okay. Were they with Yusuf?
Uh-uh. Those with Kevin and Steve.
Okay. I'm trying to understand. You said you
I
ran
understand.
one way
See.
and you ran a different.
About was used to go to the reservoir on 4th.
Mhm.
I don't know who it was. Okay. I was with me. It's like everybody picking a partner who to be with while they were running.
And
We had a certain feet going down. That's where the police was at. That was over there by the horses.
the police were off the paved road and they were in.
They were right there.
They were on the paved road near where the horse path is.
Yeah. So
So you were running away from the police.
yeah, we was going down into the where all the trees is at. Going straight down with the waterfalls and all that down.
There's a stream in there,
Yeah.
and is that down a fairly steep hill?
Yes.
Cheers, guys.
You were running away from the police?
Huh?
You were running away from the police?
Yes.
Were you afraid the police would get you because of what happened to the bum?
Yes.
And so you were hiding from the police?
Yes.
Who was with you when you ran down
With
through the
Mayor
stream?
Alfred. That's what I said. And he Alfred told us about everybody looking back.
And did you see any joggers there?
Cheers, Evil
Did
Loud.
you see any joggers running?
See, I didn't know you this.
Were you running through trees?
Yeah, going straight down. Straight down to the trees.
Right. I'd like to show you a picture.
All right, let's fast forward here. She's just going to establish where they were. And he's like, yeah, that's
Before I
where we
show it to you,
were.
let me just see if we can.
It takes a little while for them to do this.
As you were running,
Uh-huh.
what was the very first thing that happened that drew your attention to where those three people were with the lady? Did you hear something? Did you see something? What was it?
So I knew it wasn't a rabbit. The rabbit would make noise coming towards trees and stuff. So I heard out of giggling and out of running coming down the hill. And when I got further down into go home, I heard help.
Okay. Did you hear that? Was that a man's voice or a woman's voice?
A female.
But right before that, you heard some giggling and
Yeah.
what other noise were you hearing?
So I said, shut up. That's what I heard. So I stopped. I stopped and paused. I want to say that one for Al.
Where was that noise coming from in relation to where you
It
were?
came from on this side, on my right hand side of the woods.
Was that further up the hill or further down by the stream?
Put it down by the stream, but up the hill.
You hear that?
Further down.
Hear what he said? He said further down by the stream, but up the hill. You understand? He was right there. He knew exactly where he was into relation to where everything was going on, right? You heard him completely explain where he was, right? He's like, she's like up the hill, he's like down the hill, but down up by the river. I mean, he was explicit. That stood out. When I heard him say that, that really stood out to me. I was like, he was there.
Down by the stream, but up the hill?
But between there and there. Because she right there where I was at. But I couldn't, it's like when I ran, I couldn't see it. And she was right there in front of me. I could have stopped it.
You hear that? She was right there where I was at. Did you hear what he said? Right there where I was. He says so many things where you're like, dude, your friends put you right there. Your friends put you as one of the people that was attacking the homeless people.
Looked at her, but she was in that. I was right here. The hill was going up. She was right here. That's what.
So were you below where she was?
Yes.
Okay. Were you directly below to one side or the other side?
One side.
About how far would you say you were from her? If you had to
I was
point something out.
about a good 8 feet away from her. That's where I hit a tree.
You hit a tree?
I hit a tree. I ran around a tree. I was 7 feet away from her.
You hid behind a tree?
Yes.
You said you saw Kevin
Yes.
and who else?
Kevin, Steve, and Sean.
Who's Sean?
You hear this?
Raymond. Raymond.
Okay,
Raymond.
Was there somebody named Sean there? You saw Kevin, Steve, and Raymond?
Yes.
Now, you mentioned there were two Raymonds before. Is this Raymond Santana that you
Yes.
saw? What did you see them doing?
Then I heard the lady scream. I heard Steve's voice. And I heard Kevin's voice, how he was laughing.
What did you hear Steve's voice say?
Huh? He said, we will rape her. That's why we will rape her. And she was still screaming. Kevin, I did that. They put something I want the gag so she can't yell nothing. Or put their hand close to her mouth.
I'm sorry, what was the last thing you said?
No, they must have put their head over her mouth so she wouldn't yell nothing.
Did you see somebody put their hand over her mouth?
No, but that's what sucked is every time she wanted to yell, they kept cutting over back and forth. They cut off about 3 times.
When you say cut her off, did he say something to her, or did her voice suddenly stop, or what?
Alright, when she yelled the first time, Steve said, we have to shut this woman up. She making too much noise.
Now
Then
look,
the second time, she said,
look. Now he gets explicit. I mean, he gives you every fucking detail, right, of what happened. It's graphic, and I'm not going to make you watch it or listen to it. But just understand, he was right there. He witnessed everything. According to his friends, he was part of it. And you can check all this out. The time in this video right here is 42 minutes in. This is where he explains. This is called Central Park 5, Corey Wise, Corey Wise K. Oh, it's right there at the top of the screen. Corey Wise, full coerced video confession. You see how it says coerced? Full coerced video confession. Now, he's going to come back and he's going to correct some things. But this is very graphic, so I'm going to go through this. It's long and graphic, man. It's fucked up. So we're 42 minutes. Now we're an hour in. Let's see where he's at in an hour.
Do you know that the police interviewed Eddie?
they did?
Mm-hmm. Eddie says that he didn't go into the park with you.
Look at him. Look at him. Look at that. Dude.
Okay.
Eddie said that he didn't go into the park with you.
This is what Eddie told me before all this happened. When he was there, I said, when did you take me to do nothing? I'm going to need you for evidence, man. So I'm not going to do no time for nothing I had to do. When you see what's going on, he said, I'm going to get trusted. You got to get you. All you got to do is tell what you say. That's about it. Don't make me look like a liar. So he said, I don't know. You know how I am with police when they come and interview me. So you go,
Well, you said that when you were running earlier, you were running with Al.
yeah,
You didn't say that you were running with Eddie.
I know that. And he came in though. And he came in the park.
Hear
And
that?
he was near where you were.
Yeah.
Hear that?
He wasn't right near where I was at, but he was calling my name.
What, did you get from a point where Raymond and Kevin and Steve left?
Yeah. So the minute they left, it's like, Eddie came over towards me. So every time I came towards him, he found where my voice was at. And he came around the tree where I was at. He said, what happened? I said, Steven, Karen is right the woman. So what? It's right there. I said, "Look over there." So to her, right there. She was right there. They were moving up. And then Tippy told over there, you ran slow and look at the woman. I said, "No, don't let her look at your face."
Was she bleeding?
Yeah.
Where was she bleeding?
I don't know, it was dark.
How could you tell she was bleeding if it was dark?
Huh?
How could you tell she
You
was
see
bleeding?
like there's a lot of blood.
There's a lot of blood.
You see it, you can look at the blood.
Where was
Right.
the blood?
Huh?
Where was the blood?
All over our body. Like somebody, like they spread it all over our body.
Did you hear that? This is 2 days later, and he's explaining the way the body was, the way she lived, and he's explaining the way her body was posed, that there was a lot of blood, and he goes into explicit detail here.
Was she moving anymore? Was she moving?
This is still moving.
She's still moving.
Saying anything?
Huh?
Did she say anything?
Help.
Did you see where her arms were?
Huh? Happened?
Did you see where her arms were?
Cause to spread it out.
Did you see where her shirt was?
The shirt was, it was on her back.
I'm sorry?
Her shirt was on her back. It's like they moved it, so it was like now, but I didn't really look at the shirt. I looked at her body, and she was about to open up her eyes. So
He has a lot of graphic detail.
I moved away from her body.
It's a lot. Like we skipped.
Let me show you a picture.
You guys don't forget,
You recognize?
we skipped 20 minutes of this interview because it is so fucking graphic and disturbing. And I didn't want you guys to have to listen to it. Understand what these guys, say they witnessed. It's one of the hardest things I've ever listened to in my life. I hate having to listen to shit like this, but God damn it, I'm not going to be ignorant to what fucking happened.
Those things?
Not by their own admission, even if it was, as it says up there, coerced.
I see.
Was that near her or on her when you saw her?
It was it was annoying.
Okay.
Do you show another one?
This is before digital video. That's her head. That's her face. She's all beaten up.
Look at that picture. What's in that picture? Is that the woman that you saw?
Yes,
Is that sort of the way she looked when you saw her?
yes, that's right.
Market showing downward movement from 38,000. It's still at 38. They're showing her wounds. You can see where she was cut on her leg.
What do you see in those pictures?
You see shame. You can see it in his face.
Let me show you this picture again.
He's saying, I was a part of
Why don't you
this.
take a good look at that picture? Like, does that show a picture of her head? Is that the picture you just looked at a minute ago? Can you see in that picture her head? You see the side of her head? How did those marks?
Bro, let me tell you,
No,
during one of these interviews, one of these kids says, he's like, well, I wanted, my first rape to not be a murder, some shit like that. Like it's a rite of fucking passage that these fuckers were saying. It was crazy that these kids were talking like this.
Who did that?
Steve,
Those aren't the injuries that we have.
30s.
The doctor says she has a fractured
It
skull.
is, Billy. It's in the 30s.
I shouldn't say that those aren't the marks of a knife. She has a fractured skull. She was hit with a very, very heavy object there. Do you know how that happened?
See how he says no?
Is that the way she looked when you saw her? And you say that she was moving and still screaming when you saw
she
her?
was moving good. She wasn't in a position like she was dead.
Can you see in that picture her eyes?
Happy
Her eyes are black
710.
and blue?
Happy 710. Cheers. My pizza.
Do you know how her eyes got that way? Who punched her? Who punched her?
Raymond,
Okay. Whoa. Okay.
Raymond,
It was Raymond. Who punched her? It was Raymond. Did you hear that? Now check this out, man. He just said that they came up on her after all of this happened. Now he's got to change the whole story because now he's watched it happen, right? You guys, he gets so explicit. Everything, his whole story changes. They must have an oracle or a Jambi from Pee Wee's Playhouse telling them, Jambi.
Steve,
Hi, Mecca Heiny Ho, Pee Wee. Ooh, I've been wanting to do something with these for a very long time. Hands, Caucasian.
Did you see anybody with a stone or a brick or any kind of a heavy object?
That's not true.
no,
That's,
to go back forever, they wasn't dead.
that changes.
After this happened, did you hear anybody say anything about hitting her with a stone or a brick or something heavy?
That's the next day.
Who said something to you the next day?
Huh? You said something to me next day?
Yeah.
Who was it?
He's lying. He's lying right now.
I'll talk.
What did Al say?
When he
I asked him what happened to him. I said,
when he's trying to remember shit, he looks down and to the left. I mean, that's his thing. He's trying to remember shit, and he's like, he kind of looks away and down, right, from her. Dude, when he's trying to lie, he was like looking up to the right, going to his creative side of his brain.
because there's
The left side.
They approached me first.
I'm sorry?
People that are watching the news, they told me what happened on the news. I'm like, what you mean what happened? They said, what happened to the lady on the news? I said, what you mean? And she's all beat up and cut up and all that. Wait, I said, what was it? I said, last night. So I had to ask, figure out left about that. I said, what happened to the lady on the news?
The lady what?
The lady on the news, like, what happened to her? He said,
Corey, how would Al have asked you anything about the lady when he wasn't there in the woods?
I left him out there, and matter of fact, I just he came home about what, 2 in the morning. I asked Al, I couldn't really give no good information about what was going on.
Well, a minute ago you said that Al asked you. Which was it?
Huh?
A minute ago you said Al asked you. Now you're saying you asked him. Which one is it?
I asked him. So
Let me tell you right now, Corey, okay?
Here,
This
listen.
is very, very
I
serious.
understand.
This may be murder. We don't know if this woman is going to live. I want to know exactly what you saw and exactly who said what and exactly what you said to people. After seeing those pictures, I'm sure that you can see how important this case is and how important it is to know what happened.
And I've said later, after people told me on the news, because my friend Eddie told me what happened. He said, yeah, and he seen it too, but saying, you know, or he heard everything on the news. I said, I beat up with, I said, what caused all them scars? He said, who had a knife? Yeah, who had a knife that day? I said, lady. I said, man, you know that Steve had a knife on him. So I said, who's out there with Steve? I said, the people that was out there with Steve was arrested, so I can't remember say. He said, who you left out there? I left Al. So we had Al. So when he said about it, I couldn't remember say nothing. He didn't remember say nothing.
After, let's go back to the night in the woods. After Kevin and Steve and Raymond left, you went over to that body.
Uh,
And you're telling me that it looked the way it does in the pictures here. Right? What'd you do?
Hey, Rip.
and,
Oh, you can't understand one word?
Serious.
Was she naked?
Huh?
Was she naked?
Yes.
Was her bra around her neck? Did you see her bra?
I ain't bothered to get it, man. I ain't bothered to get none of that. I was looking at the position she was in. Since it told me if I stay around that body too long, I won't do time for this, so I left.
Did you leave by yourself?
I left with Eddie.
I left with Eddie, he said.
Where'd you go?
I went straight home.
Did you say anything to anyone?
Huh?
Did you say anything to anyone?
You want me to turn on the closed caption, bro?
Did you see what happened to Steve or Kevin or Raymond that night?
I knew Steve and Kevin got locked up. I knew that. And by the next day, the detectives came up here with Kevin's sister. And one of the cops knew, back just knew me by saying hi. One of the cops looked at me in an ugly grin. So I'm like, why are you looking at me like that for? He was looking at me for a long time. So I ain't about looking at him. So I was just a regular. So I say, I don't know. So Well, I did that night. I think I better go, man. What you doing? The attackers up here, man.
Did you hear them talking when they left?
Huh?
Did you hear Kevin and Steve and Raymond talking when they the body?
I don't know what they don't say that. They just said don't say nothing about it. Just don't say nothing about
Did they
it.
say that to you?
No.
How did you find out that they got arrested?
Huh? They ain't come back. That was the news. My friend Yusuf told me.
Who?
Yusuf.
Where did you next see Yusuf?
I said Yusuf the next day, right after the accident. All that.
When you say the accident,
The
Corey,
accident.
when you say the accident, what are you talking about?
Huh?
When you say the accident, what are you talking about?
The lady.
Right. An accident is when somebody slips and falls down, right? What you saw people drag her down
Yes.
there. You saw people beating her up. You saw her so beaten up that she looks the way she does in these
You
pictures.
saw the whole thing.
You call that an accident? Now tell me how you knew that these people were arrested.
My friend Yusuf told me.
How did Yusuf know?
Huh?
How did Yusuf know?
He was in the park. He came out the park about 2:30 in the night, he said. Told
You're
me.
welcome, bro.
And plus, everybody on the news told me. They said they see Kevin with his jacket over his head going inside a car, police car, in the station.
Where were you when he told you that?
I was outside,
What were you doing?
nothing.
Yusuf was home at 10:30 that night.
Yusuf. The
He
guy's name
didn't
is
see you
Yusuf.
until 3:30 the next day.
Came we got home from school.
Yeah, so you didn't see him that night,
I
you
see.
found out he got
No.
arrested. He
On
got
the
home at
stairs.
10:30 that night.
On the stairs. I asked him what time he got back. He said he got back about 2:30 in the morning. He said that he was gonna be on
Did you ask him for your pipe back?
Huh?
Did you ask him for your pipe back?
He said, no, I asked him, I didn't say nothing about it. He said, if you want to know where your pipe is at, one of the new dudes that was with us got it. We had blood all over it.
Why did it have blood all over? What did they do with
But
it?
the Yusuf told me that they was at the reservoir. Him and some other dudes, they all arrested him on a man. They asked him something, they threw him up on the fence.
What did they do?
They threw him up on the fence, threw him up. And he got there, but he let him go. He ran. And when he put the ball, threw it at him, they hit him from the back, and he fell. And they ran up there and grabbed him. He used to say that he busted him in his face.
Hey, Stephanie.
Did
Yeah,
Yusuf know
that's the
anything
guy that
about
did
this
the
woman?
rape, right?
Not that I know, but I thought he did. I asked him about it, he said he don't really know nothing about the woman. So everybody said, then people was telling me what was going on in the news about it, I didn't really quite believe it. I had to see it for myself.
Hi, Stephanie.
I went upstairs to my house. My sister had the TV on. They said about 5 o'clock, they got Central Park on the
I think I
news.
want some more coffee.
That's the state of what,
Beautiful outside.
huh?
The
That's
next day?
Next day. So I went upstairs. I didn't go to mine. It was my girlfriend's house. Me, Yusuf, and Eddie. It was my girlfriend's house. We watched the news. And he said, what happened?
Did you see any of these guys take any of her clothes?
Not that no.
Did you see her shoes anywhere?
I didn't look at the body, man. Serious. I never touched the body. I didn't do nothing to the body. I didn't look at the body. It was,
Did you think that she was gonna die?
yes. Mr. Thomas.
When you saw her in the woods, did you think she was gonna die?
Yes.
You left her there?
Yes. I didn't be there.
Called the police?
I wouldn't be there, man. Bad enough, I was running from the police. They would have around there or told them, they would try to make me talk my way and say that I killed the lady or did anything to the lady, but I didn't do it. But I was running from the cops with the rest of the guys. They wanted,
Let me tell you, Corey, we're gonna do some tests.
I understand, you know, have a contest.
Hmm?
A contest, right?
Mhm. We're gonna take a specimen from her,
Alright,
all right, and we're gonna analyze that.
okay.
We're gonna take samples, blood samples, from a lot of different people.
Follow me.
I just want you to know that if we do that, we will probably get an order to take a sample from you. And then we'll compare the two tests.
I don't mind. I understand that.
All right, because you're in a position now where if you know that there's gonna be a match, that you're better off if you tell us about it now.
I
Hey,
understand.
Orlando, what's up, buddy?
It's not true.
I understand. I understand.
What's up, Orlando? Nay, diggity.
If we do that test, are we gonna find that it matches Kevin?
Hey, it's gonna match one of them. I know what I see.
You hear that?
Okay, I just wanna give you a chance because I want you to be in a position.
She said when they do DNA testing, are we gonna see that Kevin was one of the ones that ejaculated on this woman? And he says it's gonna be one of those two guys for sure, because I know what I saw. Did you hear that? That is so fucking important. That is such a vital detail. You know, that he said, he offers that up, right? $19.58. Here, listen to that one more time.
Because
I'm gonna get
you're
my
in a
coffee.
position now where if you know that there's gonna be a match, that you'd be better off if you tell us about it now,
I understand.
instead of saying something that's not true.
I understand. I understand.
If we do that test, Are we gonna find that it matches Kevin?
Hey, it's gonna match one of them. They did. I know what I see.
Okay, I just want to give you a chance because I want you to be in a position where you're gonna tell us the truth. And I just want you to know, we're gonna do those tests and we're gonna make comparisons, we're gonna compare them, okay? Now, if you wanna change something that you've said to us, because we're gonna find out something in short order, now's the time to change it.
Nothing, you know, those guys either had magic
Is
DNA
there anything that
or
you wanna change? Is there anything that's different at all? Because in a few minutes, we're gonna end this interview. All right? I can appreciate that you're scared, and I can appreciate that this is a pretty sad case. But the thing that's most important is that you tell us exactly what happened. Because if you don't tell us exactly what happened, exactly what you saw, and exactly what you did, and exactly who you were with, and we find out that you were lying, it's gonna look pretty bad for you. It's gonna look like not only did you do something, which maybe doesn't turn out to be
I
so
love the
bad, but that you lied
misinterpretation.
to cover it up,
It's gonna look great.
and then it's gonna look a lot worse.
I ain't covered nothing.
Can you take your hand away from that? I can't understand
I
you.
ain't covered nothing up. I know
Is there
what I
any-
see.
You wanna change about what you told us?
Look,
Who was it who dragged her from, the path into the wood?
you guys, that is a very important part of this interview. He's about to change his fucking story. Okay? So she literally said, "You want to change anything else?" He said, "No." Watch this, man. Watch what happens.
Steve, Randy,
And who else was
I'll
there?
turn it up.
Kevin right there.
And what did they do after they dragged her down by the stream?
Like I said, he just dropped her. And then just like pretty bad, like I say, when someone slapped.
And did you see them there?
Yes, Steve slapped her.
How many times did he slap her?
Slapped about 3 times. And
He only slapped her 3 times?
that's what it looked like to me, something right now. And Randy slapped her. After a while, Kevin got scratched up by her.
Both of them
Punched
slapped
in
her.
face. They all start punching in the face.
Then they all start punching her in the face.
Who
He said,
punched her in the face?
Kevin
How many times did he punch her?
punched in the face over twice.
"Do you hear this? Raymond, Kevin, Steve, he's implicating all of them in the rape right now. Do you guys hear that? That's Corey, man. It's fucking, this is crazy. This is fucking crazy.
Did anybody else punch her in the face? Corey, you saw that picture. I'm asking you,
Understand?
how did she get the injuries that she had when you finally saw her? I mean, you get a punch, you see a fighter, you get a punch, you get a bruise. You don't get bleeding. You don't get these lines from yourself.
I'm more like it's like a rock.
Did you see anybody hit her with anything but their hands? And I'm telling you, Corey, I don't want you to think that you have to say that, but I want to know what you saw that explains how she got so badly hurt.
I did see Kevin pick up a hand rock, a small hand rock, and hit across the face with it.
How big was the rock?
Like it's a big, good shape rock.
Are you just saying that because I am asking you?
No.
Why didn't you say it before?
Huh?
Why didn't you say it before?
I remember me taking a quick glance in the dark, I remember her picking up a rock from out the dirt.
What did
So he's saying Kevin picked up a rock and hit her in the head. Now, before he said he didn't see anything like that. Now he's totally changing the story. And he's implicating Kevin as almost killing her.
you do with the rock when he was done?
When it was done, I can't do it back. What's it doing
All right, Corey. I don't
So she asked him what he did with the rock, and he says, I think he threw it away.
have any more questions for you. Is there anything else that you want to
Okay,
say?
now wait. Watch. Watch, guys.
All right, it is now 5 minutes to 2. This interview is concluded. Thank you.
Right? Think it's over? Watch this. He comes back.
Corey, it's now 3:15. We concluded an interview at about 2 o'clock. I have been informed by the detectives that you wish to make a statement. Do you wish to say something?
Yes.
All right. Before you say it, let me give you your rights again. Let me remind you, my name is Elizabeth Lederer. I'm an assistant district attorney in New York County.
Coffee is so good.
You have the right to remain silent and to
Right on,
refuse
Billy
to answer
Valentine.
questions. Do you understand?
Yes.
Anything that you say can be used against you in court. Do you understand?
Yes.
You have the right to consult a lawyer now before any questioning and to have a lawyer present during the questioning. Do you understand?
Yes.
If you have no lawyer or cannot afford a lawyer will be provided for you now free of charge before any questioning. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now that I've advised you of the rights, are you going to tell me the truth about the woman who was assaulted in Central Park on the night of April 19th, 1989?
Yes.
When I spoke to you about an hour ago, at the conclusion of our conversation, I told you that we were going to shortly end our interview. And I told you that if there was anything that you wanted to change or anything that you wanted to correct, that was the time to do it. Now, let me just stop you for a second and say what I want to say. I now understand from the detectives that you want to change something that you said in the first statement. You want to change a lot.
You want to change a lot.
Why do you want to change the statement you made before?
Why?
The whole thing I'm playing innocent. I want to not know what I was with everything.
Why do you want to change what you told us before? Was what you said before the truth?
No. This is something a little bit I never had to do. I was scared. I'm scared to go to jail. If I have to. Do the crime and pay.
After you left this room, after we had our conversation that was on the videotape, did you have a chance to think about what you'd said?
Yes.
And what made you change your mind and decide that you wanted to make another statement?
I thought about it. About some lying. And I said to talk about lying to the wrong people.
Did any detective tell you to change your statement?
No.
Are you doing this of your own free will? Is it your own decision?
Do you see that? She says, did any detective tell you to change your statement? Right? She's literally just asking him. He's nope.
Yes.
To ask to have another opportunity to make a statement?
Yes.
If we give you the opportunity to make a statement now, will you tell us the truth about what happened?
No truth, but the truth.
Is that what you'll do?
Yes.
I just want to say for the record, Detective Harding and Detective Arroyo are also present.
Arroyo, watch this.
In the room now.
They'll
Since
show
you
'em.
left
There they are.
this room at the end of our last interview, where were you waiting?
I was upstairs.
And what were you doing upstairs?
I was conversating with one of those detectives.
Right. Is that when you told the detective that you wanted to change
Yes, ma'am.
your statement?
Yes.
And is it through that detective that you contacted me
Yes.
and asked to be allowed to go on videotape again?
Yes. I couldn't do it myself, but I had to get an officer to do it for me.
Why don't you tell me now what was wrong in what you said earlier and what you wish to correct?
In the beginning, when he jumped the door, I was in it too. When he started on, jumped on, kicked him, I kicked too.
And did you stomp too?
No, I was kicked.
So he is admitting to being violent with the homeless people. He beat up on those people. He's admitting to it right now.
I started kicking.
And you kicked when the others also kicked?
Huh?
The others were kicking and you were doing it as well?
Yes.
How many times did you kick them?
I kicked him inside twice.
Okay. Did you do anything else with respect to that guy?
No. I just put him, I didn't want to leave him with the street hurt. Even though I know he was hurt. Me and my friend that I just knew that same day, we grabbed him by his stick and carried him off to the grass.
Look,
Do you know the name of that person?
No.
look.
Was there anything else?
Every single other one of them says that homeless guy was dragged off into the grass off the road so he wouldn't get hit by a car. They all said it. Everybody. It's the same fact from every single interview, right? Some of them are like, we couldn't see who did it. You know, some are like, we're way in the back. There's 30 of us walking down the street, and we didn't see exactly what happened. You know? Other ones were like, yeah, you know.
That you told us that wasn't true?
I was by the reservoir, and the damage that happened there, I didn't do the damage, but I did a little something there.
What you're talking about now, who was involved in this? Who was the victim in that incident?
My friend Yusuf had no ball. He gave the ball to one of his other friend that was there. I didn't see him. They ran up on a man and threw him up against the fence, let him die. He ran. They got pulled out the ball and threw it at him and hit him and he fell. We all chased him, grabbed him. Yusuf took the ball right across his face. They all punched him, kicked him on, and I kicked him.
I kicked him.
in the stomach. Then they're coming towards the ring.
I kicked him in his stomach, he said.
He came down from the park, from the
raid?
field. From the reservoir to the field. That's when we came towards the ring.
Who was raping?
Huh?
Who was
It was
raping?
me, Steve, and Kevin. I don't know the rest of the others.
Did you hear that? Who was raping the woman? It was me. Did you hear that shit? All right. I don't know if you guys are with me, man. I'm going to go ahead and refresh the chat just to see. Have we been getting a good connection, guys? Are you still with me here? Who is still here? Hey, Orlando. Good. You're here. All right. Good. All right.
Was Yusuf?
Thank you, Orlando.
Yusuf, yes.
Yusuf.
We Raymond back of her. And she looked back.
He explains.
And she started running a little fast.
Look, he explains the whole attack now at this point in the interview. Now, this is the second interview, an hour and 30 minutes into this video, guys. This is where he starts telling the actual story. He says all their names, and then you can listen to what he says, and then you can go listen to all of their stories and compare it to what he says. Yeah. We've just about watched this whole confession right here.
Steve came out towards the front and grabbed it from the front.
So it's Raymond and Steve attacked her initially, right? Raymond and Steve.
Then they, from the front, like, from the beginning right there, that's when it started a little rain. Then they brought it all the way down.
And when you say Steve grabbed it from the front and Raymond grabbed it from the back,
Yeah.
where were you?
Huh?
Where were you?
Me and Kevin Yusuf, we was right there looking at them set it over, looking at them start everything. Like,
Right? So it's Kevin and Yusuf and Raymond and Steve, right? Kevin, Yusuf, Raymond, and Steve. And this is Corey. So you'll listen to him say what each one was doing as he saw it through his eyes, right? He literally explains everything. Let's go with here, give me a second here. Right? So if you check this out, this interview, the second one down where he's wearing the baseball cap, that's Corey. That's the guy we've been listening to the whole time. And the guy next to him is Yusuf. Yusuf is sitting right next to him, okay? I watched Steve Lopez. I watched a bunch of these interviews. I watched this one right here. That was a hour and a half. This is Raymond and Yusuf right here. And then there's Kevin right there. There's Kevin right there. Kevin's got scratches on his face. I watched that interview too. Right? These guys are, almost I mean, look, if the audio on this one is hard to hear. April 21st. So this is 2 days after.
My name is Elizabeth Letter. I'm an assistant district attorney in New York County. I'm going to ask you a few questions about what happened in Central Park on the night of April 19th of 1989. Before I do, I just want to state it.
And there his father. His father's in there with him.
What is your name?
And if I said what he said, and that was my father would stand up and beat me dead on the floor. I'm just saying, that's how I was raised. My father would never have tolerated this kind of behavior out of me.
I believe you met Detective Hardigan earlier. We also have a video technician who.
Okay.
Where does that Morris live?
Huh.
Is that a person who's related to?
No, they look at the same reaction.
The audio gets better.
Jermaine?
Or maybe it doesn't.
Was that person drunk or did he seem, he was just an old person?
Yeah.
Do you look like a street person to you? No?
He's kind of like Spanish.
He looked Spanish. And when you say this dark-skinned kid clotheslined him, who was that? What was that person's name? Mike Briscoe? When you say he clotheslined him, what do you mean?
From the back, hit him from the back with his forearm.
He hit him in the neck with his forearm? He hit him in the back of the neck?
Yeah.
And where were you when he did that?
I was looking, because I wasn't on the doing nothing.
Why did you go to the park that night?
I just wanted to get away from the block. I wanted to walk around.
Bro, this gets so involved. I'm telling you, I listened to all of this, and I'm telling you the stories these guys tell. You can't believe it. You can't fucking believe it, man. I think they're all in a giant state of denial of who they are today. You know, they were punished for it. They went to jail for it. Someone went to prison for it. And they walk out. They got paid millions of dollars. They won a lawsuit and got millions of dollars. And they were guilty as hell for crimes that they all admitted to. Horrible, horrible fucking crimes. And, you know, it was just crazy that the Innocence Project, I think that's what they're called. I said Freedom Project. I think they're called the Innocence Project. I think it's, you know, horrible that they took up their cause and won the money, you know, because they didn't deserve it. You know? Oh, so they didn't do the rape, but they beat homeless people to a pulp, stole their food, and laughed about it. You know, and then you've got them admitting, like, literally just calling each other out. Okay, here, check this out.
Hit her in the face? Anybody hit her with a stone? You said that Raymond, Antron, and Steve all had sex with her. Somebody else had sex with her?
Did you hear that? You said that Raymond, Anton, and Steve all had sex with her. Did you hear that? That's 30 minutes in.
Did anybody touch her breasts?
Like, a whole bunch of people, like, feeling her on the legs and her breasts and everything.
While these guys are having sex?
Yeah, no. They definitely got up. And maybe they fell on stuff.
Anybody saying anything?
No.
Who was there?
Kobe Ross. Antoine Steve.
What did Yusuf do, James?
Corey, Yusuf.
I know. I fired him from. I don't know you went. I think he left the park early.
And remember, Corey says that this is one of the guys that dragged that woman down and beat her with his fists, and his face got scratched up. She scratched this guy. Scratched his face.
How about Lamont?
Mikhail.
Was he there?
Yes.
What was he doing? You saw him do that?
Yes.
How about Al?
Was, yeah.
What was he doing?
He was standing by me. Like Sharon Bailey and Al Morris was standing by me. Yeah, I wasn't that far away from them. I was just looking. And he was still up. Yeah, I said,
Every single one of them says that. They all say, I was just standing there, but it was him, and him. They all say that about each other. And then, and near the end,
The woman jogger. Was she laying in a pool of mud or puddle of water?
she was laying in bushes and stuff and all with dirt and stuff.
Did you tell the police when you spoke to them earlier, did you tell this detective that she was laying in a puddle, that she was laying in some mud?
No.
God, the noise. I wish I had a noise reduction system. Let's see. Listen to some of this. Michael Briscoe, 17, was named by Kevin Richardson and Corey Wise as a participant in the assault in the rape. He denied knowledge or culpability in the incident. Briscoe was initially charged in connection with the crime, but was never indicted on those charges. On May 4th, 1989, he was indicted for riot in the first degree and assault in the second degree in connection with the attack on jogger David Lewis. Briscoe pled guilty to the assault charge on May 31st, 1990, received a sentence of 1 year to run concurrently with the sentence imposed on an unrelated case.
My name is Elizabeth Lederer. I'm an assistant district attorney in New York County. I'm about to ask you some questions about what happened in Central.
So then another car.
So you ran to the opening and to the side of the field.
Peter 32.
How do you know so?
I know his first name, Angela.
And Steve Lopez.
I heard his name before. He was in the I was walking in burgundy pants. A heavy set jogger came. He was kind of fat.
Steven Lopez.
In Central Park on the night of April 19th of 1989.
So right there they lying. And I can get like two or three people that was in the background that I was standing with.
Who would those people be who would tell us that you had nothing to do with it?
My friend Orlando, because he had helped me up. His name Lawrence was in the background.
What's Lawrence's last name?
I don't know his last name. So like, and
But I'll tell you, if these guys were all saying you were there, and you're saying you weren't there, it doesn't look so good for you.
I know it doesn't.
You're saying everything exactly the way everybody says, all the way up until it gets to the woman who got raped. And then suddenly you say you decided to go home.
I was going home.
Okay. It just seems a little funny that all of a sudden, just before this thing happens, you leave. And people who have no beef with you say that you were there. Now, I want
This is Steve Lopez.
to give you a chance to tell us exactly what happened, the way other people are telling us exactly what happened, so that we have on tape exactly what you say happened.
I told you exactly what happened. I told you everything in my knowledge.
Okay, you don't have any reason that you can tell me why your friends and people who have no beef with you would say that you were there.
They're probably just getting out. They're just saying that because they don't want to have it no more. They don't have nothing to do with this, man.
All right.
Why don't you just have a seat?
This is Lamont. Lamont McCall, 13, claimed to watch but did not take part in the assault on the female jogger. In 1993, he was found with a bullet wound to the throat in the lobby of a Harlem building. He died a week later.
Food from some guy in the park.
No.
You didn't say anything like that.
Yeah, because we was walking through the grass. It was dark.
Okay. Did you stop when you got to the reservoir?
And they said, yeah. And so he started running faster and they didn't catch him.
And they chased it. Something on the back?
No. I just seen the arm. Like this arm right here.
And what did you see that arm do with the pipe?
Me, Kevin, Clarence, and Ray had ran. And the other kids had ran. We was running towards downtown. And then I caught the other kids. I caught this lady.
Okay, let me stop you for a second. Do you know Central Park very well?
Yeah, in the daytime, I don't know all that.
So
this kid, he said the other kids had caught that lady. Did you hear that?
night you were running and it was dark, right? Did you get maybe a little bit mixed up about which?
And legs, it was two people. One was on each side.
Could you see what they were doing?
They were hitting the lady.
Where were they hitting her?
In her face and her.
Was she naked?
Yes.
Could you see her breasts?
No, I see her clothes on the ground.
Did you know who was holding her on either side? You said there's one person on either side. Do you know who was on either side?
No.
What
Yeah.
was Stephen doing between her legs?
I don't know.
Could you see whether he had his pants down?
Dude, all of these kids admitted to doing this. And the guy whose DNA they found on the victim admitted to doing the rape. But these guys all admitted to brutalizing multiple victims in the park that night. You know, it's oh, dude, it's fucking crazy, man. These kids are so guilty. These kids were all fucking guilty, man. All of them. It's crazy. You got to listen to it, man. It's really not coerced at all, man. Their parents are sitting right there. The stupidest thing is none of them got lawyers, man. None of them got lawyers. All of them should have had a lawyer. You know, they're fucking just, they're all over the place. It's crazy.
What position was he in? Was he lying on top of her? Was he kneeling between her legs?
He was on the front in between our legs.
Did she have any pants on?
No.
You said there's one person on either side. Do you know who was on either side?
No.
What was Stephen doing between her legs?
So this is Stephen Lopez, right? That's the guy that's already was right here, right? Yeah, Steve Lopez. This is the guy that did the rape right here.
On the wall,
Yeah.
and then go across the road,
And then climb back
and
up
climb
the
up
wall.
the.
And he
Where were you
says,
when you came back up.
and he says, I was just standing there with Orlando. That's his story. Ask Orlando and ask Lawrence. Who's Lawrence? Oh, I don't know. Some guy. He was with me. He'll back me up. And then you got this other guy that got killed, right? He says he saw him raping her. Watched him do it. Corey said it was Raymond and was it Raymond and Kevin or Raymond and Steve that attacked the woman first and brought her down the hill. And when Corey said, so who raped her? Corey goes, it was me. Did you fucking hear that? God, it's fucking crazy, man. Oh my God. You guys judge for yourselves if you think those kids were coerced. You make your own decisions on that. I'm going to make me some soup and salad tonight. You guys take care. I love you all. I hope you had fun with tonight's show. 2 hours. I'm bringing it to you hardcore. The hardcore shit. Hope you enjoy it. I'll see you on Twitter at Nate's Garden. Here's a quick look at the crypto market. Where it's at. I see some green over here. Flocky and Overlander at the bottom. Polka dot. Eagled. At the very top, we've got Luna. Sandbox. Avax, Saitama. There you go. There it is. Love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye now. Bye, Megzair.